Overwatch can never be balanced, and that's okay. And in fact, it probably shouldn't be balanced, and I'll get into that. A bit of a different video today. No more butts for now. A bit butted out. I don't know what else to do, and they take literally hundreds of hours to make, and I'm just I don't know. I'm a bit burnt out, and I don't really get any payback for it. I enjoy the final product, but it's just come to the point where you know, I've got real life going on and it takes way too much time to make those videos. But anyway, I'm just going to put some, because I stream a lot on Twitch, and I just put some in the background. It's not the best quality, but hey yo, I've got so much Twitch footage on my Twitch channel that I really want to, I don't know, I think I'll put some up now and then. But I want to talk about all this balancing, you know, this balancing stuff that's been going on in Overwatch, and my thoughts are that, you know, you can never have a truly balanced game where, you know, like Blizz are working towards getting a 90%, you know, 90% of the heroes being used 90% of the time. Now it's never going to happen. It's just silly to think. The only way to have something like that happen is if you had one hero with the same ability, and that's it. Everybody was the same. And that's the only way. I mean, if you just look at other examples like, I don't know, like Call of Duty. I mean, that's, compared to Overwatch, that should be a super easy game to balance. The base player is the same for everyone. The only difference is the guns, and like within the class of gun, like within assault rifles, they all are very similar. But even within that context, they can't balance it. You will still have guns that are overpowered, and you know, they're trying to balance it. They keep you know, trying to balance it over the year, and you can never achieve it. And look at, you know, another Blizzard game, World of Warcraft. That game has been going on for what, 10, 12, I don't know. It's over a decade, 10, 12, 13 years, something like that. And they are still trying to balance the game, and it can't be done. It's impossible. I mean, it's almost like it's seasonal in World of Warcraft, where one season, you know, the tanks are super strong, the next season warlocks are really strong, and it just keeps going around in a rotation thing. And we're getting the same thing now in Overwatch, where, you know, once McCree was too strong, and now Soldier's too strong, and now Diva's too strong. You know, the tanks are too strong now, the healers are too strong, and it just keeps going around in a circle. And it's never gonna ever happen. If you just look at the track record of not only Blizzard, but other games that are less complicated than Overwatch. I mean, in Overwatch you have 23 freaking heroes, all with unique abilities and unique, you know, ultimates. And then you've got the classes as well, and it's ridiculous to ever think that you're going to get a balanced game. And there's a couple of reasons why, not only because it's, you know, it's a complicated game, but just the nature of how, you know, balancing is done. And I think one of the big problems here is the way Blizzard are looking to balance the game for the different player bases. They're looking at different player bases, and they're trying to balance it for all of them, which is impossible. Now, one of the biggest problems is Blizzard wants, you know, Overwatch to be a big esports game, and so they're looking at the pro scene. They want to balance the pro scene, but they don't understand that the pro scene is, you know, is very different to how the average player plays, or the low tier player, or the high tier player. It's completely different. So, for example, look at McCree, right? So now, before the Soldier and Diva buffs came along, McCree in the pro scene was very strong. He was always picked over Soldier. Now, and obviously Blizzard sees and says, oh my god, it's a problem. But the problem is, in the average player scene, as a low player tier scene, Soldier was getting picked a lot more than McCree. This was before the Soldier buffs. And this is the problem, this discrepancy, right? They're looking at the pro scene and they're saying, oh my god, this guy's not getting used, we got to buff Soldier. Now they buff Soldier, so now what's happened is they've had to buff him so much to make him viable in the pro scene that Soldier has now completely overtook McCree in every scenario, in every tier, in the low tier, in the average player tier, in the high, you know, player tier, and in the pro scene. He's taken over because that's the type of buff that Soldier needed to be viable in the pro scene. And now this is a big problem because Blizzard don't seem to be taking into account the amount of skill or effort it takes to play one character over another, right? Now, I believe that McCree should always be stronger than Soldier. Why? Because it takes a lot more skill and a lot more concentration and a lot more effort to be good as McCree compared to being good as Soldier. So Soldier, if he's not getting picked in the pro scene, there's a reason for that, because the pro players are really good. They have a high level of skill, so that means their McCree playing will be very good. So he will be picked over Soldier. That's just going to happen. That's natural, and that is the way it should be. That's the way it should be. But obviously Blizzard comes along, they just look at the figures. Oh, Soldier's not being picked. What can we do to make him be picked? And of course they're looking at the pro scene, so they have to really buff Soldier to make him, you know, be used over McCree. So now McCree's, you know, got a nerf via proxy, not really a direct nerf to himself, but because Soldier's so strong now, it doesn't make sense to pick McCree. And I think that's stupid. I think, you know, heroes that take a lot more skill to play should always be stronger than heroes that take less skill to play. So there's my reason that you shouldn't be looking for balancing. That's not the type of balancing you should be looking for. It's good to have this type of imbalance because it takes a lot more effort to play one type of hero than it does another, and that's okay. That's how it should be. And yeah, now Blizzard are just going around buffing all the heroes that, you know, okay, look, Diva's not being played, let's buff the shit out of her. And now all the noob heroes, I like to call them, have been buffed to high heaven. So you've got Diva, you've got Mei, you've got Soldier. Who else do you have? You got Pharah's got a little buff as well. So it's like all these precision players like Widowmaker, McCree, you know, they've been nerfed and being put at the back of the queue, but that's not the way, you know, it should be done. And then you have other heroes that actually take more skill to play are being nerfed, like Genji got nerfed, his combo got taken away. McCree got nerfed, you know, via proxy. I know his Fan the Hammer nerf was probably justified, but he got nerfed via proxy because Soldier got buffed so much, so that's his kind of pseudo nerf. Zarya got nerfed. She was more of a high skill, you know, cap player, but it's like, oh no, you know, the high skill players can actually make very good use of her. She's too strong, we got to nerf her. So they nerfed her, even though she was a high skill. It doesn't make sense now. She has 2 barriers. She should be able to get to 100 energy, but she can't. She can only get to 80, which is, in my view, is a bit stupid. It doesn't feel right for the character. Yeah, Widow got nerfed as well. She's a high skill cap hero, and it's just, so yeah, so you're getting this kind of lowering of the skill cap for certain heroes, and I mean, I don't like that. I mean, you also have, I mean, there's another change coming to Roadhog and his hook. Now I know his hook needs fixing. They need to just fix the hitbox, but I don't know how I feel about this. They're changing the way people are hooked in, right? So now anyone who plays Roadhog knows that each player gets hooked into a different, you know, distance. So certain heroes you can one-shot, certain heroes you think you can, but you can't. And, you know, especially like Hanzo and Ana, and who else? Hanzo, Ana. Yeah, you can't get them in close enough to one-shot them. You have to do other things. You either got to do the 90-degree turn trick, or you gotta, especially like with Ana, you gotta hook her in, and then you have to time it perfectly. You have to walk forward, so it's more than normal, but you have to time it in such a way that it's not too long that you leave it, that she can get her sleep dart off. So there's an element of skill there, but now Blizzard are removing that. So now every Roadhog player would be as good as just, you know, as any other Roadhog player. So this is what separated a good, you know, Roadhog player from another, you know, mediocre or bad Roadhog player, was this knowledge of knowing how you should hook in different enemies. And like, if you hook in a Lucio, if you walk forward, you're going to mess up the shot because he's going to end up like right underneath you. So hooking Lucio, hooking Genji, you got to stand still. Hooking Ana, you got to walk forward. Hooking Hanzo, you got to walk forward. Hooking Reaper, you got to get a alternate fire on him first, then hook him in. But now Blizzard are just removing this skill cap. They've done it for Genji, they're doing it for Roadhog, and they've nerfed Zarya, and it's like the way they're going about balancing things, in my opinion, is all wrong. They should keep the high skill cap, and if people can attain that high skill cap, they should be stronger with that hero over another hero. And that's the way I feel. I mean, on ranked now, I play a lot more McCree than I probably should. I would probably be a lot. I think I went up to like mid diamonds or halfway to master, But if you look at my profile, most of my playtime is McCree. Now, if that was, you know, substituted for a soldier, I can bet you I would have hit masters easily. But I don't like playing these noob-friendly heroes. It feels so cheap, right? And I just play. I mean, I do play soldier now and then. That's only when I'm really frustrated. But most of the time, I play McCree. I play, you know, Genji. I play Roadhog, and those are the heroes that, you know, they should have a higher skill cap. But Blizzard are just changing it up now, and it's all becoming, you know, noob-friendly city. I mean, look at fucking D.Va, 750 effective HP. Are you kidding me? And her defense matrix just shuts down everything in the game. What the fuck? Shuts down all the ultimates, well, almost all of them, and it's just, it's bonkers. And they're gonna nerf Anna. Now, I agree she does need a rework slightly, but thing is, a good Anna takes skill to play. You gotta be accurate with your shots. You gotta be very good. I mean, that sleep dart takes a lot of practice to get used to. And I just hope they just don't nerf her and reduce her skill, you know, ceiling like they have a lot of other heroes that require a high, you know, skill ceiling. And I hope they don't do that. But looking at the history, I don't know. And the thing is, we need to be okay with saying it's okay to have certain heroes stronger than others, especially if the case is that that certain hero requires a lot more skill to play than another hero. Then he should absolutely be stronger in the right hands over, you know, a soldier. McCree should be stronger than soldier, always, if the player is good enough. A mediocre soldier should not be able to outgun a good McCree, and that's where we are at the moment. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. And also, right, what's wrong with having certain characters in certain niches? Like you have, you know, like Blizzard and everybody crying about, oh my god, Symmetra's so weak. Not weak, but, you know, she doesn't get used. And it's like, of course she doesn't get used, because she's a niche-ish type character that works in a certain niche. And I think that's okay. It's okay to have, you know, niche type characters. They don't have to be viable in every fucking map, in every fucking situation. It's stupid. It's okay to have niche characters. What's wrong with having niche characters? And now Symmetra's like super OP in her niche. She hasn't really moved out her niche after all this fucking reworking. Now she's super OP in her niche. And I agree, there's some changes she needed to be, you know, needed to have. Like I think the teleporter, in my opinion, should have had that health from the start. And I still think teleporter should have unlimited uses. And she should always have been able to hold 6 turrets at a time. Those things should have been from day one, I think. But she doesn't need a shield generator. She doesn't need a fucking primary fire that can latch on from halfway across the map. She doesn't need that stupid photon shield. Right? She didn't need that rework. It was okay. She was a niche character. Fine. I mean, it's like, you know, when you go into overtime and you switch over to, you know, a Winston or a Tracer just for that situation. That's a niche situation. It's overtime, right? You just want to store, so you're picking heroes just for that certain, you know, that context, that certain situation, and that's fine. People do that. So what's wrong with having characters that fill niches, and that's all they do? And I think it's a stupid mindset that no, we need to have 90% of the heroes use 90% of the time. One, you're never going to get that. And two, it's okay to have variation, right? It's okay to have characters that only fill niches. Okay to have characters that are stronger than other characters. And it's also okay, you know, to have characters that require more skill to play. To always be stronger than, you know, heroes that require less skill to play. But anyway, rant over. And I'm going to do a few more videos like this, and I've got a lot of Twitch stream footage that I'm just going to put up and probably just talk about shit. I know Hook 2.0 is coming for Roadhog, so that's going to be interesting for me, because I do play a lot of Roadhog. So that will probably come in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Leave your comments as a comment in the comment section below what you guys think. I'll get back onto the butts at some point, but they just take so long to make those videos. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.